Hi everybody. In this video we are going to learn how to make this placemat, charger, whatever you would like to call it. Right there. For this particular one, I used Premier Home Cotton in the color Holiday. Don't know if you can see that or not. It doesn't look like it's going to. Anyway, that's what I used. It turned out very nice. This is 13 inches. It's perfect for a plate. And for this tutorial, I am going to use Karen Cotton Cakes in the colorway Richmond. This is a number 4. It recommends a 5mm. I will be using a 6. So you're going to need your yarn, a 6mm, and one of these, and later on we will be needing a darning needle. So let's go ahead and get this started. We are going to make a magic ring. Now when I make a magic ring, I make it just like I'm going to make a slip knot, except I don't close it. So I just do that, go in, put my finger right there, grab my working yarn, this first chain isn't going to count as anything, and then we're going to put 10 single crochets right into that. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to pull mine a little tighter. There was 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And because that 10th one is hiding, I'm going to go ahead, put another one in and pretend that that's not there. And then what I do with my magic rings is I take this little loop and I put it through the hole. Not the loop, but the string. And then I pull it tight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That right there is my beginnings. Well, I'm calling my beginning stitch. I'm going to go ahead, put my hook in, pull up a loop, and go ahead and make a single crochet. And then I am going to take my stitch marker and mark that stitch. Now we are going to put two single crochets into every single stitch. When we're done, we will have 20. I'll meet you when we're back there. Okay, there is 17. Okay, no, that was 18, 19, 20, sorry. So now I have my 20. I am going to pull my ring up a little tighter. Get my hook back on my loop. Now, what I'm going to do is just put one single crochet all the way around. So there's one. I'm going to grab that, pull it up and go over it. So there's one. I'm going to go over that a couple times. 2, 3. Now I'm going to drop this and just continue. Seventeen, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Now, I'm going to go in, make one single crochet into that first stitch. Into the next stitch, I'm going to pull my string up again, wrap that, and I'm going to put 2 single crochets into that stitch. And then we're going to put 1 and 2. And then I'm just going to keep going. 1 and 2. And just do that all the way around. There should be 2 stitches in this very last stitch. When you're done with this, go ahead, put 1 single crochet into every stitch that you made for a total of 30 stitches. And I will see you then. I just finished row 5. I now have 30 single stitches all the way around, and we're going to start the next round. We start by putting 1 single crochet into that very first stitch. And you know, no matter how good you think you are, you always put that stitch marker in that first stitch. You will lose it. So we have 1 stitch in, put 1 stitch in the next one, and then in the next stitch, we're putting 2. We go 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Do that all the way around. Your very last stitch here should have 2 stitches in it. When you get that done, go ahead, put 1 stitch in every stitch around. 1 single crochet in every stitch around it. I will meet you then. Okay, we have just finished row 7. For row 8, we're going to do another round of increases. We're going to put 1 single crochet in that first stitch. And we're going to put 1 in the next. And 1 in the next. And 2 in this next one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2. And we're going to do that all the way around. Again, we will have 2 stitches in this very last stitch. You'll have a total of 60. Go ahead and do a row of single crochet when you got all that done with 60 stitches at the end. I'll meet you then. Okay, that should have been 50 stitches. So if you're like, what? I was wrong. Me, not you. All right, so this time we are going to do 1, put that stitch marker in, 2, 3, 4, and then in this one, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2. Now at the end of this round, you will have 60 stitches. And then just go ahead and do a round of all single crochets. And again, you will have 60. I will meet you then. We now have 60. We're going to take that stitch marker out and we can actually set it aside. We are going to go into that first stitch, make a single, go into the side of that single, pull up a loop, pull through. That is a stacked double. We're going to chain 1 and then into that same stitch, make a double. If you've seen any of my previous stitch design tutorials, you'll know this is what I always call a single V. I mean a skinny V. Now we are going to skip a stitch and make a skinny V into that next one, which is just a double, chain 1, and a double. Skip a stitch, skinny V. Skip a stitch, skinny V. And we're going to do this all the way around. When you get back to the beginning, slip stitch into this stitch right here, and then slip stitch into the center of the skinny V, make another skinny V, and do another round of skinny V's. So we'll have 2 rows of skinny V's, and I'll meet you then. I've actually just finished my first row of skinny V's. I want to point out that this last one is actually going to be in the very last stitch before you hook up. And also, I wanted to show this. So we're going to slip stitch into there, and then slip stitch into there. Now, you don't have to do the double stack. Even for this one right here, the very first one we made, you could have done a chain of 4 and then made your double crochet, as long as you remember that that third chain is where you have to slip stitch in on this round. And the same thing here. You can chain up 4 and go ahead and make a double crochet in here instead of doing the double stack. But if you want to do the double stack, I'm going to chain up 1, then I'm going to go back into there to make a single crochet. I am going to go into the side of that, and just like so. I'll show you that again. I slipped, in fact, I'm not going to slip stitch into there because I'm doing a double stack. I've slip stitched into the top of that last stitch. Now I'm going to go into that V, make a single. See this stitch right here? Well, it's not a stitch. It's the bar of the stitch, the side. I'm going to go right directly into there, grab my yarn and pull it through, 2 loops, grab and pull through. That is a double stack. And then I chain 1, and I go right back into there, just like so. And again, you just go to the next one. And make another skinny V all the way around. I just put my last skinny V into the last skinny V of that row. I am now going to make a single crochet into the top of that first stitch there, and then I'm going to go into the side and make a double stack. We are going to put 1 double crochet into every stitch and every space. So there was a stitch, here's a space. I'm going to put a double crochet in there, double crochet in the stitch, a double crochet in this stitch, double crochet in that space, in the stitch, in the stitch, in the space. And we are going to do this all the way around. And I will meet you just before we get back to the very first stitch here. Okay, I just put my last double crochet into the last space. I'm going to put a double crochet into that last stitch. And now I'm going to double stack into that first stitch. So I'm just going to go in, make a single, Go into the side right there, pull up a loop, and seriously, there. Okay, there is the top of that stitch. We are going to actually make a double crochet picot. So we've got our double crochet made. Now we're going to chain 1, 2, 3. That last chain, that very first chain, we're going to go into, so we have 2 loops, grab our yarn, pull it through, slip stitch. We're going to go into this next stitch, make a double crochet, and into this stitch, a single. We're going to do a double crochet picot into this one. So we make a double crochet, 1, 2, 3, into that very first one. We go in through it, grab our yarn, and then we go into that next stitch, make a double, and into the next stitch, make a single. Just like so. We're going to do that again. We are going to make a double, chain 3, go into that very first one, go under 2 loops, grab our yarn, pull it through, wrap, go into the next one, make a double, go into the next stitch, make a single. And we're going to do that all the way around. I'll meet you when it's time to connect here. Okay, my last stitch was actually the second double crochet of that double crochet picot. No big deal. We're just going to take that out and we're just going to reach across. Go into that very first stitch, slip stitch, leave a tail, cut it off, do that, and there you go. And that's the placemat. Just go ahead, weave your, ooh, went a little tumble. Sorry about that. Just grab your needle, go to the back, and what I do is I just kind of weave it in there a little bit. Don't pull too tight. And then I go through some stitches down here. This way. And then I go through that way. I don't pull tight because I don't want to mess anything up. And then I go through that way in, like so. Snip that off, just like that. I'm going to go down here, snip that off. And there we have it. If you make these, go ahead, post a picture in our Facebook group. Thank you for watching.